Hi, it's me, your creative writing teacher. How are you? It's good to see so much activity on the discussion board so far. I'm really happy to see so many of you engaged with the process. I wanted to just touch base with you about the packets that are going to be coming up. You'll be turning in 3 packets over the course of the semester. Those deadlines are on your syllabus, which you can find under the syllabus button in the class. I'll also be reminding you as they get closer. And the purpose of these packets are for you to receive feedback from me on the exercises that you're doing each week. So, say for example, in week 2, you're doing an exercise and you have a choice of prompt A or prompt B, and that exercise is on characterization. You'll be posting that exercise on Wednesday, and that's the format for the entire semester. The exercise gets posted on Wednesday, and then you'll be providing feedback to at least one other student by 6 p.m. on Sunday. And that feedback should be on the craft itself. So we're not so much looking for comma errors as much as we're looking for, how did the author of that piece work with the tools that we've been learning in the corresponding craft chapter. So again, like in week 2, the chapter out of Gotham Writing Fiction was on characterization. Our exercise was on characterization. So those are the things that I'll be looking for when then I review your exercises when you turn in your packets. These are exercises, so that means they're not complete stories. You don't have to worry about a beginning, a middle, and end, and all of that stuff. I just want you to try to practice using these new tools that we're learning. I know it can be hard to not try to work everything in and condense things and make a whole entire story, but that is not at all the purpose of this. We're just kind of playing with the tools. So think of it like different kinds of exercise warm-ups like in a gym. So we're working on triceps, we're working on biceps, we're doing squats, we're doing all these various things that ultimately lead to gaining hopefully a basic understanding of the primary tools that make up fiction by the end of the semester. When you turn in those packets to me, they'll be submitted through the assignment link, which is the same place where you turned in your pre-assessment form. If you look at it right now, you won't find the link live unless this is the week it's due. The link will be available to you 1 week prior to when the packet is due, and then it will disappear after 6 o'clock on the deadline, which is always going to be on a Sunday. The class has a no late work policy, so you will actually literally not be able to submit the work after the date has passed, but you can submit it up to a week prior to the due date. I'll be looking for how you addressed the prompt, and I'll also be looking for how you worked with that individual craft tool. So like in the characterization essay or the characterization exercise, how did the student work with the 4 different methods of characterization that Chapter 2 talked about? I'm not going to be saying, wow, there was no ending to this piece, because that wasn't the point. I want to, really keep us focused on the actual craft pieces. So we'll have an exercise, coming up later on dialogue or on setting or on a couple of different poetic techniques when we get into the poetry piece. So that's really our purpose, and this is the foundation of this class. This is the introduction to creative writing. So the curriculum and my job here is to really just give you an overview of the elements that make up the 2 primary genres, fiction and poetry. And you'll be turning in these, like I say, these 3 packets. 2 of them are fiction-based, 1 of them is poetry-based, and they will come from the exercises that you turn in on the discussion boards during the week. You absolutely can revise these from when you first posted them, and I would hope that you would. You'll be, hopefully getting feedback from at least one other student on the boards, but if not, you'll have learned more, as the weeks progress, and you'll also have learned, kind of like how to, you'll have learned how other people might have responded to other types of writing on the board. So you'll be gaining, all this knowledge all along. So feel free to take that and apply it to revisions before you turn in the packets to me. Word count does matter. These exercises are approximately 750 words at a maximum. You can include feedback questions for me if you like, and that's very, very helpful. Things that you're particularly curious about, and that helps me give you back more of what you're looking for, and it also helps you learn to look at your own work with more of an eye toward a critic, which is a really helpful skill to develop too. So again, don't feel pressured to turn these into large epics. They're just exercises, and you will be selecting from the various weeks for the packets. So packet 1, you may choose from weeks 2, 3, or 4. and you pick 2 of those, and you just tell me which 2 that you picked, so that I know, so that I don't think your setting exercise was actually a characterization exercise, and then we go from there. And then you'll receive feedback from me within a week of turning in those packets on those. So you'll basically be receiving feedback from me on 2/3 of these exercises that you post in the boards. You can view the discussion boards like in-class writing circles. So you're sitting in a big circle and you're sharing work and you're offering, reflections to one another in that space. And I'm walking around the room making sure that everyone is paying attention and is awake. That's kind of what we're doing here. There needs to be a space for writing that is free from, always this heavy assessment. We want to feel safe to experiment. We want to feel safe to try things and learn things without that instant feedback. And it's also very good to learn to detach some from your work before you put it out. We can get really, really, really attached to the work that we're writing, and make it very difficult to ever share it or to ever hear ways of improving it. So we're trying to learn all these different skills by the various things that we're doing in our introductory course. So thanks again for your work so far, and I look forward to reading what you turn in for your packets as the semester goes forward. Have a great week.